Hey, this is Dr. Paul. Welcome back to Chiropractic Personal Injury Marketing. And again, we support chiropractors by offering documentation training. That's what wins the cases. And then the 10 marketing systems to get the business. And that's exactly how we get you. I have what's called a Fast Start program. We get you over $100,000 in 90 days and hold your hand and talk to you every week to do that. And that's how I opened 77 offices in 20 states. And this is how the vast majority of my clients go over $100,000 in 90 days and over $300,000 by the end of the first year. And I've got several clients that do over $1 million a year. And they only do it really from one program, the Personal Injury Attorney Educational Sales. That's the only one they typically use because it's so effective. It's the single most lucrative skill set in marketing you can have in chiropractic because it gives the highest case average. And it's repeat. Remember, when you sell an attorney, you don't have to advertise again. All you got to do is do what you say you're going to do. And you get all his clients every month. So it's the single most lucrative skill set you can know. So this particular topic is the office sign. One of the 10 marketing systems that we use is the office sign. And I call it the office sign on steroids. And here's how that works specifically. Is you got to remember all the people driving up and down your road, it's the same people, 80% of it's the same people every day. And 2% of those people are in automobile accidents every year, okay? So they're driving up and down your office, these personal injury cases, every day, every week, okay? And remember, they're typically, most of them, remember chiropractic has low utilization, so they're typically going to the GP. That's the second leading cause of going to the GP is low back pain. It's the second leading cause of going to the emergency room. And it's the second leading workers' compensation injury. So there's chiropractic, conditioned patients that are going everywhere but to you, the chiropractor. So there's plenty of them out there. They're just not looking for the chiropractor. And that's what the marketing needs to do, okay? So here's what happens with the office sign. So these people are driving up and down. Now, if they're not in an accident, your sign's not going to mean anything because there's no need, okay? But we know 2% are in accidents every year. So, the same person that didn't care about that message last week now cares about it because it's relative to them. So here's what we do is we put a sign out, and it totally depends on your regulations. And it could be a yard sign, it could be a banner. We're talking something cheap. We're not talking about, $300,000, $500,000 sign. That's not what we're talking about. And we make sure it fits with your parameters, where you can place it, the size of it. So that's first thing. Number two, on that sign is a very specific message that has real high interest level to the personal injury patient because it's specifically for that person. And I already know what that is. I already know what the first, second, and third most important message is to a personal injury patient. We already know. And that's the message that goes on that sign. And then it says, go here, basically, for the free information. And it's basically your website. It's a link that has the video in it, okay? And the purpose of sending them to that video is it magnifies the likelihood of them taking the next step. And the reason it does that is first we're saying a very specific message that has their interest, okay? That's the first thing you have to say. Number two, we send them to the site for more information. That video, if you remember, that advertising in the videos have 14 emotional triggers. In other words, they're conscious and subconscious things that we want as consumers when we buy products and services. So the more of those that you have in your advertising, the greater it's going to work. The less of them you have, the less it's going to work. It's kind of simple how that works. Well, all of our videos have all 14 emotional triggers. So we have a highly specific message that they want that sends them to the site to get it. They go to the site and there's the video right there. And it covers all 14 points, what they want consciously and subconsciously, to make it much easier to get them to take the next step and make the phone call as a patient. That's how that works. That is the office sign. And I got to tell you, that alone will pay, in all likelihood, will pay for your house payment for the year, the amount of personal injury cases that you get and the money you make from that revenue. That'll, in all likelihood, just this one program right there, in all likelihood will pay for your house payment throughout the whole year, the business you get just from that one category. So, having said that, remember, here's what we're dealing with. This is the comprehensive package of everything that's included to get your business over $100,000 in 90 days. And remember, if you don't have these systems in place, that's the amount of business you're not getting, you're losing. So we start with the documentation. There's 5 categories of documentation for the soft tissue spinal injury with Colossus and the financial drivers. You gotta know how to do that. Number 2 is the 6 steps to put the pieces together. It builds. This case just keeps getting stronger. Every step you do, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. That's what creates winning cases. And then you have to know how to defend it. There's 2 topics the insurance company is going to come at you to try to minimize their financial responsibility. There's 2 big ones. So we teach how to document to already counter what we already know they're going to do down the road. So when you know how to document it to drivers, tell the story, and defend it, that's when you stop getting the crap from the attorneys like, cut your bill. That's when you stop getting IMEs that say patient doesn't need any care. That's when you stop having the attorneys say, you send me a patient, I'll send you one. That is what creates respect, okay? And by the way, if you're getting any of that right now, you're not doing the documentation right. You're missing some major factors in the documentation. Now, on top of that, we include the 10 marketing systems, and we said one of the marketing systems was the office sign. So remember, there's 10. The personal injury attorney marketing system is the mother lode. That's where you get a ton of business. There's the medical doctor educational sales, the website and the YouTube videos, Facebook pay-per-click, the newspaper advertising for personal injury, the patient video newsletter, insurance videos, Google for Business, condition videos, and the office sign. So every one of these that you don't have in place, in other words, if you don't have a personal injury message on your office sign, that's that much business you're not getting every month. And that ends up to being a lot of money. Like I said, in all likelihood, it'll pay the mortgage on your house for that year. So this starts adding up. Every time you are not doing something that in other words, you're not somewhere that the personal injury patient naturally goes, that's that much business you're losing. And that's how it works. This is how I opened 77 offices in 20 states. These are the systems I used. So again, what's it cost? It cost one personal injury patient, one, for the whole year. This costs $397 a month for 18 months. It includes A, quick start videos to get you over $100,000 in 90 days. B, phone call with me every week to get you there so you know exactly what to do next. I hold your hand step by step to get you to that $100,000 in 90 days. Next, live webinars every Tuesday. And if you can't show up for whatever reason, they're recorded and they're sent out within 48 hours. Next, seminars, 2 seminars on the East Coast and the West Coast. One seminar is based on marketing and documentation. The other one's on narrative report writing, medical reports, SOAP notes, and how to give a deposition or testify in court. Now, you don't have to wait for those seminars, remember? That comes through the automated videos and the webinars. But the seminars help to coalesce it. And that's what all my clients say after they've studied all the material and they come to the seminar, they say, oh, that really helped solidify and tighten it up and clean up the rough edges. That's kind of what they say to me. So it's a comprehensive package. And again, it's meant to do 2 things: get your practice over $100,000 in 90 days and get your practice over $300,000 within 12 months. That's what this is designed to do. And that's what we do. So get started, give me a call. We'll get started within 24 hours to 48 hours. We'll do an orientation. I'll take about 30 minutes out and we'll go step by step, like during your lunch, exactly what happens and how it's going to happen in great detail. We immediately send you over the quick start videos. get going on the documentation. I talk to you every week, and then I just feed you the information you need relative to where you're at, to where you need to go. And that's how quickly I can get you over $100,000 in 90 days in personal injury. I've done this is my 30th year in chiropractic now, and over 77 offices in 20 states. So we know what works and we know what doesn't. And all for the cost of one personal injury case, one a year. A year. If you're averaging about $3,000 a case, the cost is only $397 for 18 months. Only $397 for 18 months to get your business over $100,000 in 90 days and $300,000 in 12 months. That's the rate. That's the value. All right. So give me a call. We'll get started. 813-480-1693. So give me a call at 813-480-1693, and we'll just get going. And we're going to get you over. We're going to do everything we can to get you over that $100,000 in 90 days. Give me a call right now. I look forward to working with you.